we can see, robot may be able to detect emotion signal, assist people in distress, and support human welfare. So, in this sense, artificial compassion may function as a useful technological tool. Okay. So, I think my speech will not be deny the value of robot. I just want to make a further reflection from Buddhist philosophy, especially Buddhist ethics. So I also believe that robot can help the human in the future. We can see, robot may be able to detect emotion signal, assist people in distress, and support human welfare. So, in this sense, artificial compassion may function as a useful technological tool. Okay. So, I think my speech will not be deny the value of robot. I just want to make a further reflection from Buddhist philosophy, especially Buddhist ethics. So I also believe that robot can help the human in the future.
You can see a robot may be able to detect a motion signal, assist people in distress, and support human welfare. So in this sense, artificial compassion may function as a useful technological tool. I think my speech will not deny the value of robots. I just want to make a fuller reflection from Buddhist philosophy, especially Buddhist essence. I also believe that robots can help humans in the future.
我们可以看到，机器人可能能够检测情绪信号，帮助处于困境中的人，并支持人类的福祉。从这个意义上说，人工同情可能作为一种有用的技术工具发挥作用。我认为我的演讲并不会否认机器人的价值，我只是想从佛教哲学，特别是佛教的本质出发，进行更全面的反思。我也相信机器人在未来能够帮助人类。
Okay, so now original talk, I think can hardly listen because not just noise, but also I think the speaker is definitely native language is Chinese, but you have to speak English. That happens very often in most of the conferences or sharing because it is now very challenging to get good interpreter for technical talk, especially this one is a Buddhism talk, of course. Talking about AI for Buddhism. So you have a lot of AI, you have a lot of Buddhism, and if you are to look for a good interpreter, and probably you won't be able to find one on time before the event started. So that is always the situation. Or even if you can find one, it's very expensive and very troublesome. So the easiest way to solve the problem is how? Ask the speaker to talk in English most of the time. Okay, this speaker English is very good. I think it's not clear because of the noise, but definitely compared to the way he speaks Mandarin, it's far better speaking Mandarin if you have given a chance to speak in Mandarin. Anyway, in order to assist your understanding, there are few ways which normally most of the technology provider will provide. The first is the so-called subtitle or caption. And some of the students I was told, in the lecture they use a device to generate subtitle to understand the lecture. Any one of you have this device with you? You don't need anymore. You don't use this device anymore. I was told a few years ago there are many students having a device which can look at the subtitle or caption real time. when the lecturer teaching. So maybe your English is far better, so you have confidence, you don't need to do that anymore. Or that device is doing that. Okay, anyway, subtitle, the problem is, if it's real time, then you go very fast. So it's actually quite difficult for you to understand fully. Then, in order to help you more, there's such a thing called voiceover. Okay, voiceover or dubbing. Meaning, the system also tries to read out the text for you to listen, so that you have eye watching the subtitle and ear listen. Maybe you'll be able to understand few more percent of the content. Okay, is it true? If you can listen and watch the subtitle, is it better? And because this is voiceover, normally it's noise-free. It will be very clean and clear. So that is far better than the live event, which is a bit noisy. Okay? Of course, the last one is what? Instead of doing the subtitle for English, voiceover for English, it totally translates into Mandarin. So which one you prefer now? Mandarin subtitle and voiceover, or English subtitle and voiceover? Oh, you still prefer original English? Okay. How many you prefer Mandarin? It all depends on your English competency. Huh? If your English competency is not that good, then certainly you prefer to listen, as I mentioned just now, in your preferred language. So this is now, the technology can help you as an audience to understand a presentation. And for the presenter or speaker, I don't really need any of this technology because I just talked. But if possible, let me talk in the language I'm more competent. Okay? So, in the next part of the video, you're going to see. However, the speaker is very skilled at presenting in Chinese. And we ask him to speak in English.
那因为在全球化的浪潮底下，我们难免的会遇到所谓的AI 的问题。那跟未来我们台湾步入，或者是步入其他的国家也是哈，全世界的某些的国度里面，他们面临到跟台湾一样的问题，步入到高龄化社会。那在步入到高龄化社会，其实我们各种的资源。其实如果能够妥善的发展 AI， 那可能会帮助我们去解决若干的问题。但是 AI 的发展呢，在世俗文化里面，它其实有两个面向。在我的这一篇论文里面呢，其实就是从这两个面向去思考。第一个面向呢是辅助性，第二个面向是破坏性。那辅助性通常我们会从，比如说我们从大家可能熟悉的达文西手背，在医疗照护。乃至于未来可能在社会工作有陪伴机器人等等，好的这些辅助性，在更不要说是在工业商业方面的辅助性。但是呢，破坏性是什么？破坏性其实我们看下一张图，我们就可以看到，左边呢大家知道 R2D2 对不对？星际大战，好，这个是辅助性，因为它来拯救地球人。好，那右边呢，魔鬼终结者，其实就是我们人类对机器人最大的害怕。它会不会侵犯到我们人既有的生存的权利？好。
Because under the tide of globalization, we inevitably encounter the so-called problems of AI. In the future, whether Taiwan moves forward or other countries do, certain nations around the world will usually face the same problems as Taiwan. As we enter an aging society, if we can properly develop AI, our various resources may help us solve certain problems. However, the development of AI actually has two aspects within secular culture. In this paper of mine, I am thinking about the issue from these two aspects. The first aspect is assistive, and the second aspect is oppressive. We usually understand assistive functions through examples such as the well-known Da Vinci surgical arm in medical care, and in the future possibly through social work, with companion robots and other forms of assistance. Not to mention the assistive applications in industrial and commercial fields. But what is persecutory behavior? In fact, if we look at the next slide, we will be able to see it. On the left, everyone knows R2-D2, right? From Star Wars, that one represents assistance, because it comes to save humans on Earth. On the right is the Terminator, which actually symbolizes our greatest fear of robots. Will it infringe upon our existing human right to live?
Okay. So the second part is basically what I proposed just now. The speaker speaks in the native language or whatever language which is more competent. For this presenter is basically Mandarin. And the audience choose to listen to their preferred language. So of course, if you prefer Mandarin, then it's just nice. The speaker speaks in your language. If not, then the system will translate it into other languages for those who don't speak Mandarin. So in this case, it's basically English, the second part. So how is it for that arrangement? You prefer the first part, try the best to help the audience to understand the English talk by the speaker, or the second part, let the speaker speak in Chinese and the AI translate it into other languages. So you prefer second part? This is my survey. Huh? If your answer is second part, then we can proceed, because that is basically the system we are going to use. And you are going to use in the lab as well. So for the next few days, 1 week or 2 weeks, you are going to keep on knocking yourself on this aspect. Huh? So make sure you prefer the second part. Otherwise, it will not be justifiable to do all this kind of thing. So, as I mentioned many times, the system, we call it Sister Chati. There is a reason for this name, but it will be too long for me to talk about it, so I skip for a while. If you really want to know why we name it Sister Chati, we will have a separate few hours to talk about it. Okay, so it's basically an AI-powered video translation system. Okay, and the system basically provides you subtitling. If you have watched the earlier videos carefully, the subtitle generated is slightly different from those subtitles you used to see in YouTube or other systems, because it's actually produce a complete sentence with continuity between each of the subtitle segments. That is very important for you to understand a speech. Why most other systems have difficulty in reading their subtitle? Because they normally capture a small segment of the speech and try to transcribe it and translate it. If the segment is too small, if it's not a full sentence, of course, the translation, no matter how powerful is the AI, they won't be able to translate it rightly. So that is why not just difficult to read the subtitle, but also a bit challenging to understand if the subtitle is, the segment of the subtitle is too small. It doesn't mean that the subtitle is small. Huh? It all depends on whether each subtitle have the continuity or not. Our system, we try to maintain a continuity, and we can do it because we actually capture the full sentence and then only translate and chop it into smaller segments to be presented as a subtitle. So that is a lot different. Okay, that is the subtitle, and also depend on the speaker. If the speaker is like me, I used to make a lot of grammatical mistake in English, or I might not choose the right words in English for the content I would like to present. Then it will be better if the AI can take the sentence and also polish up. Okay, I think this word of polish out or beautifier is happening everywhere now. When you capture a picture, the picture becomes suddenly so 漂亮, huh? So beautiful, huh? Okay, because AI now is very competent in doing this kind of job, beautifying whatever given to them. So the same, any sentence transcribed, you pass to AI, of course the AI can beautify it, make it much easier for you to understand clearer. So that advantage of AI is also something we must take advantage of, okay? When you prepare the subtitle, not just make sure the context is long enough. And translation, if you translate a good sentence, perfect sentence, of course, whatever result will be far better than you're translating a partial sentence, okay? So that indirectly enhance the translation. And the voiceover also. If the sentence is a complete sentence, the voiceover is different than you try to pronounce part of the sentence without continuity. You can listen and know the voice is just not natural. Okay, so all these are important factors you have to consider when you use the AI to deliver a speech translation. Okay. Okay, so this is basically the flow of Sister Chatty, how it works. In the if you use it for AI live interpretation, the first part is basically when a speaker talking, you must live stream it. Because without live streaming it, the computer won't be able to process it. Okay? So that is what I'm showing you now. Now you'll be able to see all this in your live stream, right? If I want, I can also change the live streaming to live stream the whole stage here. I just need to, later on I will show you, I just need to change a bit of the OBS to capture the stage rather than the screen of my monitor. Okay? So live streaming part is important, and everyone knows live streaming is pretty stable now because of the e-commerce. 每天直播。So whatever devices need to do a stable, clear, and quick 直播 is certainly no problem. Because for the past 5 and 6 years, not 5, 10 years at least, everybody is depending on this to make a lot of money. So of course they will invest money to perfect the live streaming system. And it's also thanks to this good live streaming system, it enables us to develop a system which can perform live interpretation, because the first part is already solved by the live streaming. Capture the speech and send it to your processor. Your processor doing what? Basically take the live stream video and start chopping it into segments and transcribe the speech, translate it, and generate the voiceover, and then combine all this into another video. For what? To be live streamed again. So here, in order to send this translated video to the viewer, to you, I just need to again use the live streaming system again. That is what I'm doing now. I live stream to all your mobile phone. So later on, I'm going to demonstrate this 3 module system of doing the live AI interpretation using Sister Chatty. Okay, live streaming, I don't talk too much because 直播, I think everybody know what is it. But the key behind this live streaming is actually visual. Without good video technology, actually, there's nothing of live streaming. So I have to talk a bit on this and introduce to you the video technology, which in the past we call it multimedia. That is what I learned from my appointment as a Dean of Research at Multimedia University. During my appointment there, every day we talk about multimedia until I get tired about multimedia, but it's just video, okay? So what is video? Okay, that you watch a bit, because you have to know video to work on my system. So.
All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something huge, a massive shift in how we all use the internet, the absolutely unstoppable rise of video. So have you noticed this? You open up any app, you're scrolling through a website, and bam, everything is moving, everything is talking to you. I promise, it's not just you. It feels like the entire internet is just turning into video. So what's the deal? Why is this happening? Well, here's the thing. Video isn't just one of the options anymore. It's quickly becoming the default language of the entire internet. Seriously, it's how we learn stuff, how we connect with people, even how we shop. And this wasn't some accident. It's a massive, fundamental change in how we all communicate online. Okay, so how did we get here? How did this mix of motion and sound totally take over our screens? Well, before we even touch on the tech side of things, it really starts with us. It starts with our own brains and why we find video just so captivating. Yeah, it really all boils down to the fact that video speaks a language our brains are just hardwired to understand. The power of video isn't just one single thing. It's a whole bunch of things working together, right? It's hitting us with sight, sound, and motion all at once. When you see someone's face or hear the tone in their voice, you build this sense of emotion and trust that, let's be honest, a wall of text just can't compete with. It helps us get the point way faster, and it also builds that feeling of connection, the stuff that real online communities are made of. And that really gets to the heart of it, the whole show, don't tell thing. Text can tell you how to do something, right? It can describe it, but video shows you. Just think about it. You're trying to cook a new recipe, or, I don't know, fix a leaky pipe. Reading instructions is one thing, but actually seeing the timing, seeing the exact movement, all those little visual cues make it so much easier to understand. It's just more direct. Okay, so we've established that video has this natural, built-in advantage. It just connects with us. But that's really only half the story. Now we need to look at the powerful engines that took that natural appeal and just put it on steroids. These are the systems that made video unstoppable. And the biggest engine of them all? The algorithm. I mean, think about it. What do platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok want more than anything? They want to keep you on their app. They want to keep you watching. And they figured out that video is the absolute best way to do that. So their algorithms are basically programmed to shove more and more video in front of your face because they know it works. And this kicks off this incredible self-feeding loop, what some people call a flywheel. It works like this. The platforms push video. More of us watch it. Because we're watching, the money follows. Advertisers pay more, platforms pay creators more, and, of course, creators go where the money and the audience are, so they make, you guessed it, even more video. And that wheel just spins faster and faster. But it's not just the algorithm, right? The other huge piece is that it's just so easy to make videos now. The barrier to entry has totally vanished. I mean, you and I, we have a broadcast quality camera right in our pockets. And with all these new AI editing tools, anyone can make a video look super professional. All this content helps sell stuff too by showing you how a product actually works. And because it's so visual, it can travel all over the world, no translation needed. So you've got the human brain loving it and the tech pushing it. But don't just take my word for it. The numbers are pretty staggering. Let's take a look. I mean, just look at this. A whopping 65% of all internet traffic is now video. Let that sink in. That's nearly 2/3 of all the data being beamed to your phone, your laptop, your TV. It is just massive. And it's not just that, it's a huge slice of the pie.
it's pretty much the only slice that's still growing. The amount of time we all spend watching video online is going up by about 10% every single year. Meanwhile, the time we spend, reading, it's actually going down. We are literally trading our reading time for watching time. And if you want a perfect example, just look at Meta. More than half of all the time people spend on Facebook and Instagram is now spent watching video. Think about that. These are platforms that were built on status updates and photos, and now they are completely video first. And when you lay it all out, the divide is just crystal clear. It doesn't matter what you measure, our attention, what we're creating, or where the money is going. The story is exactly the same. Video is exploding, and text is either flatlining or fading away. This right here, this just nails the financial side of it. All the money, all the incentives in the creator world, they are massively tilted towards video. We're talking tens of billions of dollars. That's the fuel that keeps that flywheel we mentioned spinning like crazy.
All right, so we've got the psychology, we've got the tech, and we've got the data. So what? What does this all actually mean for us day to day? What does it mean to live in a world where video is the new default?
So let's wrap this up. Here's the takeaway. Video works because it's human. It taps into emotion and trust. And on top of that, the entire digital world, the algorithms, the ad money, everything, is now built to push it forward. The numbers don't lie, this change is happening fast. So the main thing to get is this. Video isn't just a format anymore. It's the new native language of the internet. And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. If video really is the new default language for everything, how we talk to each other, how we learn, how we do business, what skills matter now? In a world that is clearly choosing to watch instead of read, what does it mean to be literate anymore?
So are you agree? This is what happening now. Over the internet is more and more video. And the reason is because every one of you is watching more video than reading text. So text is getting less and less. So it all depends on the interest of everyone. The world change. So that is why I think it's probably also useful for every one of us to know what is video, and also maybe one day every one of us will be asked to create video, because in most of the working environment you are probably going to present using video rather than PowerPoint. It's a bit too troublesome to play the PowerPoint and then talk, and most of the time you also a bit nervous, so you don't know what you are talking about. So it will be better if you spend your own sweet time to prepare the PowerPoint and then use the voiceover and prepare a good script for it, and then use the voiceover to read the script and combine all this into a video and then present as a video to whatever would like to listen to you. Okay, is that better? I think maybe one day most of the company will say, no, prepare a video and present using a good video. So you are going to spend more time working on video at home instead of just prepare the slide and come to the company and blah. Okay, so things might change. Depend on which one is more effective and better to communicate, to present what you want to present. So for this, there are many video generators nowadays available. You probably noticed this video was generated by what? At the end of the video, you see a special symbol. That symbol is what? That symbol is Notebook LM. It's a system developed by Google again. And it's basically for Google to demonstrate to you how powerful is my whatever AI. Because inside there is Google is basically letting you to use whatever advanced AI they have now to help you on understanding something, presenting something, either in a video form or in the text form or audio form, podcast. Okay, so whatever which we are using now, it can generate for you. Okay, so AI is too highly high. Okay, highly high in English means too good. Okay. So video, the future is visual. And these are the systems used by Sister Jati. The reason why I introduced video is because we are using a lot of video-related tools, which you are going to deal with when you run Sister Jati. Of course, the first kind of tool which you definitely need to have for video is player. So in your computer, how many video player you have? Now, there are a lot of free video player, either for your mobile phone or for your computer. Okay? And choose VLC as one of the video player, MPC as another one. So VLC will be used to play the translated video. MPC will be used to play the video segment when you perform the checking, whether the transcription is right or not. We have a quick editor for you to edit the transcription. Okay, if you want to improve the translated video. Okay, and Windows Media Player Legacy. They have two versions. One is the Windows Media Player. The other one is the old Media Player. I prefer the old one because it's taking less space. Okay, so I'm using that to play the voice. Because my video is actually not combining the image and the voice together. I treat my video separately, the image part and the voice separately, because then I can process them faster and deliver the result faster. Okay, so I need player for both. The other one is I certainly need to record down, because when I live stream speech, is in form of the video. So in order to process that, I have to capture it. So that I need a recorder. I use MobileBee. There are many other recorders available also, but this one have the feature I need. So I choose this. You can also use a free one if you have the Windows 11. If your notebook or PC running Windows 11, there is a Microsoft Snipping tools. You can select and record anytime. So to copy people's video is not a problem now. And OBS Studio also can be used to do video recording. Now I'm using it to do live streaming, but of course you can also activate the recording so that it will record a video as well. Okay. So this is player, this is recording. Editor, of course, if you have video, if you want to change it, then you need the editor to look at the video and cut here and there, insert funny text, funny character. And one day, probably every one of you will have to learn how to edit video, because your boss will ask, please improve your video. Not interesting enough, so you have to do this. Okay? If you are asked to present using video. So CapCut. Everyone familiar CapCut? Developed by whom? CapCut. CapCut. Have you heard CapCut? TikTok. TikTok, because it's a platform to share video. Certainly TikTok have to provide this tool for people to prepare video. So you have to give free video editor, very powerful one, so that everybody create video and upload to TikTok. That is always the strategy. Anyway, Microsoft also, everybody should use video, but Microsoft don't have a good platform. At least Google have YouTube. So, but Google don't have a good editor, so unfortunately. But Microsoft have Clipchamp. It's also very good. To me, this is easier to use than CapCut. I prefer this one. And of course, the easiest to use is MobileWay, but you have to pay. It's not free. Okay? Okay, social media. Okay, you have video where to publish for everybody to watch. So that is what, in the past 10 years, all the social media companies become very rich. Facebook, YouTube, Google, because too many free video uploaded to their site, and they will just use that to advertise this and that for, not for free, they charge you when you advertise that. So they get free thing, but they charge the advertisement. That's why they're so rich. They basically have nothing to lose. Okay, so you have Facebook and YouTube, the major one. Of course, there are tons of other. TikTok, another one. Okay. Okay, so that is the social media. But in order to bring your video to the social media, live, then you need live streaming software. The one I'm using now to live stream is OBS Studio. Very good. Free. Of course, you can also do support with the video conferencing system. That is also quite effective. Zoom, Meet, Woo, you know Woo? We or we. Anyway, this facility which is very stable now because support is so many years already. So definitely all the tools are good. So real-time, real-world application of video. Okay, I talk so much of video. It's not just for support. Support is just support means live streaming. Live streaming is just one of it. So happen that it helps businessmen so much to earn so much, but video actually is used in many other, not just business. Like pitching the idea, I'm going to do this next week at Digital Penang to everyone. Introduce Sister Jati in 7 minutes. You're not using 3 hours to introduce something, but 7 minutes, equally accurate. That is the demand. I say, up to you. I will just stop. Okay, showcasing product. And that is what basically in all the e-commerce platform, Alibaba and whatever, you see how good is their video. You can see in whatever angle you like for the product to understand the product. But as I mentioned, it's not just for business. Training and education, maybe not that intensive now, but I'm going to tell you, very soon you are going to spend 70% of your time watching video when you go to learn anywhere. Now online is already all video already. Physical learning institution like USM, maybe I'm the only one talking about video using video. In other lecture, you probably still listen and PowerPoint. Okay? But soon, all the lecturers will be equipped with the AI tool to generate video very fast. So they are all like me, going to have video everywhere. Because I don't need to talk. Video will talk for me. So training and education, the same also for any of the company. Certainly the training department is going to do a lot of video because once prepared, it can be used forever. If you are using the trainer, every time the trainer has to be around in order to teach. That is not cost effective. I'm very sure soon everywhere in the training department of a company will be video. You better prepare yourself to be video. Marketing and sales. Okay, these are equal. Internal communication. The same. If you have anything you want to tell in your organization, soon everybody is going to just play video everywhere, or WhatsApp video, or share video. So you don't really need to have a lot of meeting. Just exchange video and everybody understand what you want to present clearly. Okay? So now I'm going to show you another video before we break and see whether you can understand this video.
Your grandchildren will be the last generation to read and write. I know that sounds strange, almost unthinkable. Text is everywhere around us. We use it hundreds of times every single day, and it's woven into the fabric of our daily lives. But today, I'm going to make the case that humanity's relentless pursuit of better ways to convey ideas and preserve knowledge doesn't end with text. I think we're at the dawn of a new era of AI-enabled communication. And I think that future generations will slowly replace text with more intuitive forms of communication, like audio, video, and eventually immersive technologies. And one day, I think we'll look back at reading and writing as historical artifacts, like we do with papyrus scrolls, or hieroglyphs, or cave paintings. Don't get me wrong, I love reading. This is not a personal vendetta against text. Some of my fondest memories is walking around in my local library back in Copenhagen, that you're seeing behind me here, picking out all kinds of books, mostly science fiction books, returning home to read them, so I could go back there again and pick out the next set of exciting books to read. I love disappearing into these worlds that were different than the physical world around me. And that, of course, only was amplified when I discovered the internet at around 10 years old, which opened up an entirely new world of ideas, of music, and people. On the internet, information was free, and I saw firsthand how technology didn't just change the distribution of content, it changed the content in itself. The difference between a lively forum and a book is massive, right? A blog and a newspaper, and so on.
Everyone can understand this video in English? It's talking about video, but it's too perfect English with a lot of terms which might not be familiar with you. That is why it might also become a difficulty for us to understand a presentation if the English is simply too good. Okay? So for this one, you can go for the break. And when you come back, I will show you the translation of this short video into any languages you want. You just choose. I will use my system to translate it immediately for you so that you can understand the content of it. Whenever you encounter a presentation by an English speaker, they use a lot of powerful terms, and you are not able to appreciate it fully, then that is the time probably need to be translated into your preferred language so that you can understand in a more comfortable manner. Okay, I will do it after your break.